G'day everyone, Jason Haines here again from QPL Rural. Let's get into another Haines report and see what's been happening in the last week. Well, certainly there's been a little bit of rain around, and it is interesting as we're doing this report here. There's been some significant falls across the district, and with the prospect of quite a bit more to come. There was very heavy storms down south, Deniliquin, Jerilderie Way, and a lot of storm damage done, so I hope our clients down in those spaces don't have too big a clean-up to do, but I know there's been significant damage right along that area. Now, the current rain, this hasn't actually backed off the water job at the moment. Murrumbidgee has surged again. We are still looking around that sort of $450 a megalitre in the Murrumbidgee system, should I say. And down in the Murray system, there is a bit of disparity there at the moment. There's not as much demand around at the moment, not as many trades due to zero allocation. And that's probably in reality back around that sort of 430 mark at the moment. Now, on the permanent scene, those permanent high-security water sources have gone from strength to strength. We're now looking at numbers at least at $6,000 a megalitre or more for high-security water in the Murrumbidgee. There's big demand on bore water at the moment. I do have orders both in the Murray and the Murrumbidgee system for bore water, both on a permanent and temporary basis. So if anyone's looking to relieve a bit of cash at the moment, if you're sitting on some water, please give me a call. There's active buyers there at the moment. Now, as we're all aware, at the time of recording, there is some more significant rain forecast right through Victoria and up into our area over the next few days. So it'll be interesting to see how this does impact the water market and indeed allocations. Now, the other thing that the rain has influenced is the livestock markets at the moment. The Eastern Young Cattle Indicator sitting at 523 cents per kilo carcass weight. The National Trade Lamb Indicator strengthened again to be 667, and the mutton job at 423. Now, there was a boost to the export job this week, and that's why our trade lambs have jumped up with the drop in the Aussie dollar back down to around that 72 cents per kilo, and some renewed rain hopes, which means there could be some summer feed across some areas. Now, the export job does look reasonably strong if the Aussie dollar stays where it is, but it'll be interesting to see how the new year opens up. In rural property this week, we have seen the settlement in the last week of two large irrigation properties in our space. The Red Plain aggregation down at Jerilderie and Talinga at Darlington Point. These are two first-class large irrigation properties which have a long and productive future ahead of them now as they pass to their new owners. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our vendors of both these properties and wish them the best of luck with the next chapter in their lives. Now, as we start moving into that Christmas or summer period, and we look like we're going to have some strong livestock markets for quite a while to come now, I want you to start thinking about securing your production systems. We've got a couple of little properties now that make good little finishing blocks, and just as a permanent small block where you can produce forage or have secure finishing areas where you can finish that livestock into that export market could be really valuable to any number of production systems. Now, by this, I'm talking about Meadowview down at Finley there, 220 acre block that's got a remote controlled centre pivot on it and a spear point. We've got our lease block right here at Narandra, Kerrylands. That's, again, a 500 acre block that has underground water, 200 megs of underground water on a bore with some centre pivots set up on it. But equally as such, I've got some larger, the dairies we've got down in Finley and out at Walcool, of Rosedale and Tickawara. Now, these are cattle producing or forage producing farms, and both of those properties have got good, secure underground water on them that it's well worth considering how properties like these can in some way just help to drought-proof your operation a little bit and guarantee you those finished lambs or finished steers when you would have otherwise had to sell them off early. Also in property, there are a number of opportunities going to pop up in that dryland cropping space too. This space remains quite strong as buyers take a long-term view of the industry and what property values will do. Some of our vendors have been very surprised by the results we've got, so I would encourage, if you are thinking of testing this space, please give us a call. Doesn't cost anything to get an appraisal and for us to step you through the process, and we'll see what we can do for you and your property. Now, as always, if you'd like any more information on any one of our properties here today, please feel free to give me a call at any time on 0488 594 450. I did spend some time during the week on a bus trip with a group of cotton growers having a look at the absolute latest in flood irrigation technology with automated systems, and it's absolutely fascinating how that industry is moving forward and what's available there in labour saving and efficiency devices. It was certainly a great day out with some very progressive farmers. As always, let's catch up again next week. Cheers.